Who was your childhood hero?
Oh, man.
Was it a tennis player? If I had to pick a tennis player, it'd probably be Agassi.
Mine was Sampras. I liked his style.
Me too.
And so when I watched, it was more watching his and wanting to beat Agassi.
That was a great rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
I missed that one.
Mm-hmm. It was just, it's serve and volley versus great reaction time with Agassi's returns and things like that. I mean, it was awesome.
He was my favorite. I was in high school, but he was really going strong back in 89, 90, 91.
Oh, yeah.
A while back. All right, let's see here. What's the most dangerous animal you could beat in a fight to the death?
Oh, man, I saw this one, and I was thinking about it. I don't know. Like, I've seen certain podcasts of people saying wolves, and no, there's...
Well, you have a leg up here, pun intended, because you can take it off and beat them with it.
My theory was I would put the leg forward. That way, when they attack, it's going after the leg, but anything that can grab...
Chew on that while I pummel you?
Right. Distraction, and then... But a raccoon, maybe? I mean...
I could see raccoon.
Only because I have some experience with this. Some of the people I worked with would know. I had a raccoon just running right towards me, and it essentially turned into a football. But I'll tell you, it did not get phased, and it just ran away. But I think that's the limit because they're mean.
All right, so let's talk about Fritz or John. Now that I know you as John.
Yes.
Tell me where you grew up.
Right here in Buda.
Really?
I was in, our address is Buda, but I was in Creedmoor. So lived there whole life and went to school in Del Valley.
Del Valley?
Yes.
When did you start playing tennis?
Kind of started in junior high. It was kind of one of those things. I played every sport, so tennis was next on the list. And try it out. Honestly, it was my girlfriend was in the sport, and I thought bus rides with your girlfriend,
sure,
cool,
yeah.
And that works out. So that's really why I got into tennis, and it turned out I was, kind of decent.
Did you win any tournaments in high school?
Oh yes, when I went to high school, it was clear I did pretty good, so I had to start getting lessons and won pretty regularly. I mean, lost many times, but I won some tournaments.
Tell me about the hardest loss you took at a tournament.
Hardest one was in regionals. It was, I think, 99 or so, or 2000. I was in regionals and made it there, but I had a nagging injury from my trap, and I went and got one of those feel-good shots, the cortisone or whatever it is, and went out there and played, but just couldn't finish out. I mean, the guy was better than me, but it was one of those things. I made it to regionals and might not ever happen again. Well, I think I was a junior, so it might not ever happen again, and so it was hard. It was a hard loss.
What about your greatest victory?
Oh, that would be with one of the kids that I couldn't ever beat. He had my number. No,
I have a friend like that, Aaron.
Well, so he it wasn't a nemesis thing. He was not better than me. He just beat me every time because I was intimidated every time I play him because it was our levels were different. I hit different, but he was a wall and he would just get it back, and it was frustrating to me. So finally. One tournament, I was down. He won the first set. I almost lost the second set. He was up 5-1, 5-2, and it was like 40-love. And 1 point away from the match being over. And honestly, there was cameras that came around. It was like news or something. It was just cameras. And I said, okay, now I can play. I don't know what made me do it, but... I came back and I won the second set, and we had like a small little break and beat him in the third set very handily. Ever since then, that was just the best victory because I beat the guy and I worried about none of what happened before. It just went on.
How did that how'd that work with your confidence?
It changed things to make me realize, like, okay, I need to start focusing on individual points rather than the whole thing, because I was more or less focusing whenever I would play him. It's the whole. Like, I should be winning. I should beat him. I'm better than him. I have more talent than him.
Right.
And so whenever he would win a point, I would
Better
get
looking than
frustrated.
him, I'm sure. Right?
Yeah, maybe not. Who knows? I forget. But I mean, it would get to, I would learn that, okay, just take it point at a time, and it helped with playing. I mean, much better.
So after high school, where'd your tennis career go?
I actually signed with Schreiner University and played for roughly a year there.
Interesting. Just a year.
Yeah, so when I was in high school, I played a tournament outside school, as we mostly do, and I hurt my back. I broke a little piece. I forget what it's called. It's just the side on the outside. I broke it, and little fracture, but it just affected my game. I was able to go to college and play, but it affected my tennis a lot. I was able to play for 6 months, and then just practicing, and finally I had to give it up for actually 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like, didn't swing a racket? It's probably been that long for me.
Yeah, I gave it up completely, not because I hated it. It's just I couldn't do it, so it was just put everything away, and doctors kind of said, yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can do.
What did you do during that 8 years to fill the void of not being able to play?
Pretty much just work. It was working, just focusing on other stuff.
Didn't pick up a new hobby like fishing?
No, I think at that time it was mostly work. Yes, it was getting into industrial field type stuff, and it takes up a lot of your time. So you do not have time for anything else.
Yeah, tell me about that.
So back, would have been 05 or so. My dad actually worked for a sand and gravel company, and it was just an opportunity to go do something different. I was working at HEB like 40 hours a week, and I had another job for a vendor for HEB, so I was kind of doing that thing. Yes, and eventually it was just like, well, let's just go to one job, and we worked. Man, it was 84 hours a week. Sand and gravel, just you get wet as soon as you walk in, and
that's hard work.
Oh yeah. But it was the lifestyle that I liked. I was used to it, working so much and just not having time to spend money. You just made it and went home.
Right. I've been there. It's a time-consuming process, and once you get a break, you're like, now what do I do?
We never got those breaks. It was pretty much working 3 months straight. I mean, now voluntarily, I was the person that, like, I'll work Saturday, Sunday. Eventually, they got to the point where we know you're working. We need to know who else is working. But I was young, so I was able to do that.
So 8 years goes by, and you haven't played tennis yet. How'd you get back in?
My cousin Miguel, he actually. I forget if he called me or texted me, but he told me about a tournament in Austin. I think it was East Austin, at a new tennis center. And he said if you win the tournament, then you would get the tournament named after you, and then you would win a racket.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay. I said, let's go ahead and start practicing. We went out and hit a couple times. So, I mean, at 8 years, and we played maybe a good little couple months before the tournament, I think, and then finally went to go play the tournament, and I won it.
Yeah. They named it after you?
No.
The inaugural Fritz tournament?
We went a different route. I played against the guy that was running the tennis center, and in the finals, and I beat him. And I actually knew him from before, where I took lessons. He was the other coach next to my coach. Excuse me. And so when I won the tournament, I got a racket, but I also got a job offer. Like, hey, you want to come here and coach and start, see options. And sure. So that's kind of where coaching started.
Okay.
I forget what year that was, but yeah, that's when it all started.
I lost count.
I know.
2013?
Yes,
8 years?
it would have been 2011, I think, 2012, something like that. Yeah.
So a little over 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So how often were you coaching over there?
It was weekly that I had a certain clients that it was just kind of, we'd go out and play. I mean, we would go play every week. I had a group of kids that we would do a camp at Lanier High School because I didn't like how much tennis costs.
Right.
It costs a lot to take lessons, and I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did kind of demographically change my costs. So it was like those Lanier High School kids, hey, let's do a big old group, and then we can lower everything.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So it was really neat, and we got to know those kids really well, and it was awesome. And I actually did it at Lanier High School, and so it was really neat. Like they let me do it there because I was doing something good for their team, and then I would just travel to coach. Round Rock, all over the place.
For like the districts or just individuals?
Just for individuals. Like Lanier was the outlier that there was a lot of those kids that played. But there were other schools, Cedar Park, and there's a new high school up there. But so many kids. It's been fun. Were
you coaching? We're gonna segue into the accident here. Were you still coaching at the time of the accident?
I was on a break because of work. I couldn't teach. It was just too time consuming. Actually, no.
You weren't.
It was. I was doing it. Wait, before the accident? I'm sorry.
Yeah, before.
Shoot.
Because that was 6 years ago.
No, because work was just so much. I had it was hours wise, and I didn't have the time to. It wasn't until after I actually lost my leg because of I figured physical therapy. It was a good way to do it. So
get you up and moving around. Well, let's talk about that day. Where were you going?
I was going home. Well, it was a process, and I've told the story to many people, but it goes back to Friday the week before. Friday the week before, I had my motorcycle and needed to get fuel, but I passed up the gas station, and it's okay, I'll get it on the weekend. Weekend comes, I forget. I'll get it Monday morning. Monday morning comes, I'm running a little late. I'll get it after work. Whenever I was leaving work, there was a it's that's hard to talk about.
Yeah.
One of my friends or coworkers, he was a good guy, and I saw him whenever I was leaving, and I just felt something pulling at me to talk to him, but I didn't. And I looked in the rearview mirror or the side view, and I was like, I was seeing if he was like waving or something. No wave, and I'll just keep going. Went to a stop sign, and I have a choice. I can go towards home to the gas station, or I can go away from home. I chose away from home. And then when I got to the gas station, get fuel, I made another choice. I was going to go a separate way, like a new way home. No, go the same way home. Go the same way home. And one last decision was to pass a truck, which I had, it was proper to pass. And then, just coming up to that intersection, seeing the vehicles. I mean, I saw everything. Seeing the vehicle stopped, checking the stop sign, and when I checked back, it was just one of those. I see the vehicle coming into my lane. The only thing I can do was just press down and go to the ditch. It was my best option. I thought, and honestly, it probably was the best decision because I was able to get past her. And when she either goosed it or whatever the case, but she ended up hitting me, T-boning me. If it was the other way around, probably wouldn't be here.
Right.
More than likely. But
flying over the car.
Thank God she T-boned me, and it's like it stopped all the forward momentum. And yeah, sure, my leg came off there, but I ended up flipping, landed on my head, and I had a helmet on, awesome helmet.
Yeah.
But I remember just being on the ground, and I remember saying three main things: just why did they turn? God, please help me, and my legs hurt. That was just most of the things that I could
Shot,
remember.
And you stayed conscious the whole
Oh
time?
yeah, I was awake. I tell people it didn't hurt like your leg came off.
Yeah.
Like I can't explain it. It's just it didn't hurt, but it hurt. I knew it did. The main thing that was bugging me was my hand was tied up above me, so it was just my backpack had come off and it was holding me up. But I got it free, and I had headphones in. People were trying to talk to me, and I was like, I can't hear you. I have headphones in. And they're like,
I can't take them out.
well, I said, let me take my helmet off. And that's when they're like, no.
Under your helmet.
You just listen to music. And I'm like, okay. And just kind of, there. But I remember being on the ground. A lady had put a tourniquet right away. She was ended up being a close neighbor. And then I remember having the cops there. They got there very quick, and they started putting the tourniquets on. Whew. Talk about pain. It was, I think we did 3 on my left leg because it was clearly gone. And then they ended up doing 1 on my right because I had so much blood over here and my leg was just kind of contorted a little bit. So just in case, they put 1 over here. Thank goodness my right leg was just broken. It wasn't just completely gone. So, but I remember at that point it was just okay. I mean, we're waiting. We're just waiting for the ambulance, and I was on the ground just praying with again one of my church members. It was their mom that was there, and she was just on the ground praying with me and just waiting for the ambulance. Like I said, finally the ambulance gets there, and before the ambulance gets there, they're asking me like, hey, well, can we do anything for you? I'm like, yeah, well, call my wife. And they're looking for my phone. And I said, oh, you don't need my phone. Like, here's the number. And I recited the number. And I remember there was a lady that called, I believe, and she had said, well, she didn't answer. I'm like, okay, call my mom. And I recited her number. And looking back at it, I got to see the video. It's just them looking like, he's remembering all this stuff. I mean, I'm in shock and adrenaline, so I'm just there. But I'm able to remember those few things. Remember numbers, 2 numbers at least. But yeah, then we got put in, or I got put in the ambulance. The ride to the hospital was interesting. That was the hardest part, I would say. When I was on the ride, I believe it was Robert S. Light that we went down because of all those humps. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, it's still kind of a roller coaster, but I remember that.
When you lost a leg, that doesn't exactly feel too good. But either way, I remember that we were on our way, and one of the guys, they were radioing, and they were saying, hey, we have a possible amputation. What?
It was the first time you'd heard it?
I didn't know my leg was gone. They did not let me look at. They took the helmet off and put the neck brace on, so I couldn't see. But
was it still hanging on, or was it like gone?
Oh no, that sucker was 10 feet behind me, I think. Looked good thow.
Hey, look at the shoe over there.
It had a nice boot on it, I will say. Tell that. But yeah, so when I heard that, I was asking like, wait, what? You're gonna do what? No answer. So I start to ask again, like, what did you say? Nothing. And again, I don't know how many times it was. To me, it felt like I asked 10 times. And then I started to hyperventilate and cry because nobody's talking to me. Nobody's telling me a thing. And I know, like, that's not good. But I broke down and again, just probably bawling, but I'm hyperventilating, and he leans forward and he's like, what do you want to know? Or however he said it, just seemed like, what do you want to know? Are you going to take my leg? And yes. The answer I remember was yes. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying that I just chilled and sat back and, hey, we're good now, but, you know, it was an answer. And I've been through CPR training. I've been through, you know, like all of that kind of stuff. And they tell you, you're either going to tell people or you're not. I mean, it's a choice that you're going to make. That was something I needed to hear. I needed to hear, yes, you're losing a leg. Some people, they can't hear that, you know, and I get it, but I did. And so, you know, we got all the way to the hospital and still awake. I remember them trying to put a main line in over here, and it was kind of funny because they couldn't get in. My memory of it, maybe hazy, but he's too muscular to get in there, and I just laughed because I'm not. But either way, they ended up coming in over here, and pop, it went in perfect. So I do remember constantly asking for water. I was very upset that they wouldn't give me water. And by the way, they went all the way to St. David's in Austin, so south. So it was a long haul because Kyle wasn't a trauma 2, I think. It was the stage below. But so I remember just being there, and I was getting very angry that they wouldn't give me water. And they kept asking me questions, and I said, look, this is the last question, and then I'm going to get up and get water. They asked me the question, I answered, and I wanted to get water. Mm-hmm. And I just remember them saying something of the sort of now or put them out, and I don't remember a thing. I mean, yeah, they have the power to do that. Yes.
Yeah, like, we don't want any more questions from you.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know I lost my leg. I'm thinking I can just get up and do whatever. So, I mean, I get it, and thank you.
Yeah. After we first met that first time when you were coaching, I noticed you had a really good sense of humor about losing your leg.
Oh, yeah.
When we became friends on Facebook right away, and you make jokes about it all the time, and I always end up clicking the laugh button, but I know there's people out there, and they're like, am I supposed to laugh at this? But you found humor in the tragedy. Mm-hmm. So tell me how you got to that point, because I know, well, first tell me the process of recovery, like the rehab part, the emotional and mental and physical challenge there.
So, I mean, if I'm all honest, I know this will sound maybe like I'm lying. I mean, I've told many of my friends at the time and, you know, wife at the time. Meh.
It is what it is.
I lost my leg, and I woke up the next day. I wrote, I'm sorry. And then when I understood it was okay, I'm alive, I get to see my son and, again, my wife. Hey, I was happy. And it was just an opportunity to then mess with people. My recovery was mostly that, with just humor. Right. I mean, the very first one was the nurse that came in, and they put a pillow down where my leg would be. So they put a pillow here, and the nurse came in and touched the pillow, and I freaked out like it hurt. And she said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to touch your leg. There's no leg. It was just fun. And then when people would come in to see me, I blessed to have so many people come in there. I mean, it was awesome. And they would come in, and they would come in with this sad face like, oh, hey, Fritz, and I have my leg. It's shorter now. Mm-hmm. So I just picked it up and waved with it. Mm-hmm. That broke most of the faces. And mostly it would be like, why are you like this? Like, I lost my leg, not my humor. Right. I was like this before. Right. I make jokes. Now I just get to make them about myself in a different way. And as far as the recovery, again, I was hit on Monday around 4:20 something. Woke up on Tuesday 7 something in the morning. Wednesday, and again, right leg femur is broken. Mm-hmm. Left femur broken, torn ACL, all kinds of stuff with the knee, but the other leg's gone, you know, above knee. Wednesday, all right, we're getting you up. Yep. Now I have a stabilizer on, so it's not going to collapse. I do have rods in both femurs, so again, it won't collapse, but we're getting you up. It got me up on a walker, and it was one of those things like we're going to start going right away. It wasn't much, but as we're going to get this far, and okay. I mean, my recovery, I would say, the thing that embodies it the most is the bedpan issue. I like to do things myself. They give us a bedpan and they say, here you go. Go ahead and do it right here.
In front of everybody.
Well, you got your time, do it, but then we're going to come in and we'll clean up. No, I'm going over there to the restroom.
Right.
Again, one leg is gone and the other one's pretty messed up. I'm still going to go there. We go back and forth, and it's like, I got two hands. I will throw myself, and I prove to them that I could get up out of the bed, into the chair, to the restroom, onto the toilet, do my thing, and get back. I had to prove it, and hey, we're good. But I just refused to do bedpan.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how it was. I mean, it was a week. It was a week in the hospital, so very short time. And it was only a week because I tore a ligament or tendon, one of the two in my hand because I was stubborn and used the wheelchair instead of the bedpan. But that's besides the point. And then 2 weeks in rehab, it was one of those things again where they gave you a goal. We need you to do this. We need you to be like, they push you, stand on one leg and they're pushing you. Right. You have to be able to stabilize and do your thing. And they gave me a certain foot mark to reach. And okay, it was just, I had awesome PT and OT nurses, and they did awesome work with me. I mean, they helped me and pushed me pretty hard. Yeah. And I was out of there in 2 weeks.
Wow.
So, I mean, week in the hospital and 2 weeks in rehab, and I was home for Christmas. Like, that was the goal. My goal was to get home for Christmas. So motivation was that.
I assume you haven't gotten back on a motorcycle since.
No, man, that was, it was to save money mostly. Yeah. At the time, needed to get a different vehicle for somebody else, and so it's kind of like, well, trade in my truck and I'll get a motorcycle. Never rode a motorcycle before. I kind of fibbed and said, yeah, I used to ride them.
Yeah, sure.
No, I'd never ridden motorcycles before, and went to Harley in Green and bought one. Didn't ride it home because, again, I had never ridden a motorcycle before, so I'm not going to ride it home. And I just did the training course, and it was fun and nerve-wracking, but it opened my eyes to the highway and like driving in a car. But yeah, I did not drive it on the highway. I did later on, but man, like, it's just not, it wasn't what I would have wanted. But hey, the other option was riding a bicycle to work, which I was trying to do to save money and to get more fit, and it didn't work because of my path. I ran into a lot of thorns. So yeah,
back roads out there.
yeah, it didn't work out.
Yeah, I laid mine down twice. And one time in high school, and it was in a ditch, going 5 miles an hour out of a parking lot. And I was scraped. I had long sleeves and jeans on it, and I had to go home and change because it was before school. And I was scraped up from head to toe under my clothes. Did it again when I was 21, and that was it for me. I was like, I better get off this thing before I lose a leg.
Oh yeah. Life. I mean, what do they say? It's not if, it's when.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, mine, it's crazy. I had insurance. Yeah. I had the good insurance when I first got the motorcycle, and then 5 months later, I was like, I don't need that insurance. Let's drop it. Let's drop it to the low one. I'm gonna save $5 a month.
Right.
And then I got hit a month later. It's like, well. Oh, yeah.
Well. I lost a friend a couple of years ago. We think he hit a curb, or somebody came out and he was dodging him and hit a curb. It was late at night, and he flew off and hit an embankment. And they found him not alive anymore, and they never found out if he lost control or somebody made him
Yeah.
lose control. So we really don't know how it happened. But
It's hard. I mean,
it happens all the time.
with motorcycles now. I mean, I've seen it just looking on the road. People don't pay attention. I mean, they're small too.
Yeah.
Even me as a driver, I had my truck and I just driving normal. I was at a stop sign and a vehicle is going to turn into a neighborhood. I was going to pull out. I didn't see the crotch rocket right behind the car. I mean, he was tucked in. Whose fault would that have been? I would have felt terrible by hitting him, but man, he's just tucked. But you get that a lot because there's so many motorcycles now.
I think they're bulletproof too. Yeah. So how about jet ski? Have you been on a jet ski?
Oh yeah,
jet skis.
Jet ski back.
That's my motorcycle now.
High school jet ski. Sure, we had a family friend that had one. It was fun, but we got to do it every other week or so, or every summer.
Do they make waterproof? Could you ride one like a wave runner?
I can't. Like mine is good and rated up to a certain depth at a certain time. I've taken mine kayaking, not this particular one, but the previous leg. I had it for 4.5 years and it finally broke. But yeah, I took it kayaking. That was the main thing. Just I wouldn't submerge it all the way, but it would get wet. As long as the charging port was closed, you're good. If you left the charging port open, you're done.
Technology's gone crazy with these prosthetics. Tell me about the different ones you've gone through since then. Because you keep trying out new ones, right?
Yeah. So right now, the biggest thing that has changed is the socket. So my socket will change. Unfortunately, mine changes pretty often. When I get a smaller socket, my volume will shrink. And so I'll have to get a new socket. So like right now, it's a clear one. She makes the prosthetic, makes a mold, and then she does this clear socket, and then we can see where all the contact is and see how it feels. I take it home. Not supposed to mess with it too much. I do, but
trying to tweak it, and make it.
I do because I have
Toolman Taylor.
I have permission. It's because I know in general what I'm doing. So I'm like, hey, and I tell her, like, I'll text her, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to shorten it a little bit so I can see if the pressure changes. But, that's just for us to get the socket right. Then the bottom part, the knee and the foot, the knee I liked. It's a C-leg. Excuse me. It's a C-leg. I've had it before, C-leg 4. It has an app. It's awesome. I get to put it in tennis mode, so I like that setup. The other thing that I'm changing is the foot. I'm the prosthetic company I'm with now, Advanced Orthopedic Designs. Excuse me. They're swapping out my foot for it's a challenger foot. It's more of a athletic foot for this type of knee. So it will hopefully fit me better for tennis and things like that.
So when you say you put it in tennis mode, what does that do to it? Does it make it looser?
No.
Extra ball bearings activated?
It doesn't have tennis mode, but it has table tennis mode. And so table tennis mode will make it bend only to like let's say 30-degree angle. There's different modes you can select. A cycling mode just makes it free swing. So you can get on a bike and go swing. Go cycle, no resistance. There's one in normal walking where it's just your normal walking. It'll lock whenever it notices if you hit something with your toe and this thing senses it, it will lock your leg so that you can bring that leg forward and it doesn't collapse, but you can take another step.
Interesting.
Then cool. Table tennis mode is really neat. I tried it at that tournament that I had played at. I put it in that mode and it didn't allow my leg to bend past that 30 degrees. So I knew whenever I was serving, I could throw that ball up and I don't have to worry about my leg bending. Because unfortunately, yes, I've thrown that ball up before and my robot leg decided to just collapse.
And you fall at that point, or can you catch yourself and balance, I guess?
It's 50-50. Sometimes I fall not gracefully, but I know how to fall.
Right.
I used to tell the kids, if I fall, laugh first, then check on me.
Then come pick me up.
But, normally it's just tuck and go, But sometimes I'll catch myself. But now I don't have to worry about it. I put it in table tennis mode or whatever mode that I feel is going to work best and not worry about that leg. And
Cool.
And it's also neat because it will allow you to walk normal. So it does go past that 30-degree angle when you're walking. But once it knows you stopped and you're going to make let's say a athletic move, it will only go to that certain angle and no more. So it's really nice to have that added little bit of support. And by app, I mean, there's an app on my phone, Autobach. I click it and I just go from setting to setting, and I can see how many steps I've taken, like official. There's no lie. There's no Apple Watch lies. It's my leg. I know how many steps I've taken on this leg. And, most of the doctors that I've told, like how many steps I've taken, like, that's a lot. That's a lot of steps.
Like I move around a lot.
Yes.
So let's talk about tennis. Let's bring somebody on first. You notice there's an empty chair over here. We've got a special guest that's going to come on. And I'm going to reposition the camera. So, who do we have here?
Oh, this is Shannon.
Yeah. Tell me about Shannon.
Shannon, we met, a little bit over a year ago, and met because of really my stolen truck, which was, awesome.
I remember that.
Yes, my Denali, and
you went chasing after your wallet or your phone?
Oh man, yeah, my wallet was in the truck because I was gonna coach tennis the night before, and things fell through. Left my wallet in the truck, and
which is probably something you never do.
No, I even left my tennis rackets, the cart, everything was in there, and I went back in because lessons are off, no problem. Me and the boys walked out the next day, and we were going to go to school.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't park over there. I looked at the other place. No. And I just laughed. I mean, that's all I could do was laugh.
Right.
I mean, it was a year to the date from like other stuff. So like, awesome. This is so weird. And we called in and Chase couldn't go to school. So, but hey, eventually when I filed for the insurance claim and whatnot, and my wallet was in it, and I did get to tell them, like, I can see it right now.
Right.
It has, because I had OnStar. OnStar, wonderful. Oh yeah, we see your truck. Okay.
Send a policeman to it.
Shut it down.
Yeah, or shut it down.
They said they cannot shut it down. There's nothing they can do. OnStar, I mean, I was paying however much, and I thought, like, hey, they can shut it down. They can do their thing. No, apparently not. But either way, my wallet was in there, so I could track my wallet all the way. It went to Bryan, College Station, and then it went to Houston, and then it was just dropped off. I think the location still is in Houston. I never went to go look for it as much as I wanted to.
I remember you were looking for a ride out there.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I could take him today because that'd be a fun trip to go to Houston.
Yes, I had an AirTag. AirTag was in it.
AirTag.
One of my friends, she was out there, so she actually drove to that area, and she was looking like, I don't see it. I gave her the sign in for it. It was like a abandoned gas station looking area. Oh, well, it is what it is. But so, I got to, I had to claim the truck, and insurance, it didn't know what I was doing for money. I had just got let go from, I was a project foreman for a scaffolding company, and it was just financial reasons, for work. It was, hey, we need to part ways, and money, I was like, I was enjoying having time with the boys, and I didn't know what I was going to do. Maybe teach tennis, and then my truck was stolen. I mean, again, it was paid off, and luckily it was signed over to me, and eventually I got exactly what I paid for the truck. I think when I lost my leg, because I paid a leg for it, and and then I got it right back, and I was able to buy my my Hyundai. I could have bought
You got it stolen in the right time because the
Yes.
chips were in low supply and vehicle prices were through the roof.
Yes, they were through the roof, and I told him, I said, look, here's the comparables right now. I did my research because I know how it works, and I sent them in, and they went above my comparables, a couple of them. So I was like, cool, like I'm happy with that. And so now, I'm Christian, so for me that was God giving me that, answering that prayer that I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but he's going to figure it out. I always thought that he'll figure it out. I'll ride it out.
Amen.
I'll keep enjoying what I'm doing with my boys because I wasn't able to do that before. And bam, I think it was March. I don't know what I'm going to do for rent.
Yeah.
I got that check 2 days prior, and I was able to pay rent. I was able to buy the car that I have now. Again, little Hyundai, and I was able to then. We met.
How did y'all meet?
We actually met through a dating app.
Yeah.
Yeah. More. I mean, it was her fault because
Okay. Yeah.
she hit that like button, and that's the universal sign of if a woman likes a guy's photo, that's either they're not real, or there you go, that's the person you can talk to. So
The dating app failed to teach me these rules.
You didn't know? rules?
No.
Were you new?
Yes. Yeah. I think I'd been on there for like 2 days. I think when I liked the picture.
I don't think that's dating app rules. I think that's just everyday life rules.
Well, I had never been on a dating app before, so I was unaware of. But I'm happy. I liked the photos.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah,
It's like a bar. Guy walks up to a woman at a bar. That's normal. Woman walks up to a guy at a bar. Okay, I can actually talk to this person. Same thing.
The running joke before we ever met in person. He used to jokingly call me a man's name.
Because I thought she was fake. I thought she was fake. I was like, "There's no way.
Shane's
I have to
just messing with me.
FaceTime."
Yeah, he would answer the phone and be like, "Hey, I'm Shannon. Hey."
Because it got stuck in my head that it was a joke. Now it's a joke, and it's a joke, and I get stuck in those jokes because of my humor. So yeah, that's how it went.
So how did that all come about? We were talking about your truck before.
Oh yeah,
The truck
so
getting stolen.
truck got stolen, and thank goodness it did, because that was $100. I had just filled it up before it got stolen, day before it got stolen, and it was $175 to fill up that diesel tank. Now it took me 600 miles, but I
was 600 miles away.
Yeah, I wouldn't have driven to Louisiana and back as much as I did. I mean, I was going every other weekend with the car because it got stolen. So then I got to get the Hyundai, and gas is great. It's $35 a tank. So shoot, I was able to go there and back on one tank, $35, no problem. I mean, I've never had that before. It's such a cheap gas, other than my Firebird back in the day. But I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah, but that was because gas was cheap.
Yeah. $1 a gallon.
Not quite the same.
And I was putting super in
Back
it.
in those days.
Oh yes, but that's why I was able to go out so much, and we discussed it. It was really the frequency that I did go allowed us to grow as much as we did in a short time, to say like, okay, she can move over here to New Braunfels and we can see. But if I had the truck, it would have been like maybe one meeting every once in a while, and it wouldn't have got to where it was. So, for me, I'm Christian, so there's so many things that make things just line up, and that was one of those things that I would never have done it with the truck.
And definitely not as often.
And definitely not as often, but with the car, I just didn't care.
Yeah.
He knew, there you go.
Well, my contract was getting ready to end. I only had 3 more months in Louisiana.
And what were you doing?
So I'm a travel nurse. So I'm originally from Ohio, and right before I had joined that dating app, under the coercion of all my friends, I was deciding I was moving to California. I was moving to Florida. I was going to go travel somewhere else. I wasn't going to stay in Shreveport, Louisiana, longer than I had to. If he wouldn't have been off of work, to have the time to be able to come and see me I 2 months later, 3 months later, would have packed up and moved, only God knows where. So.
Well, and then we met, and then I started working at Lowe's like shortly.
I want to say in November, I think. So we met in August of 2022. You fell in October.
No,
Or
September.
what? September.
Yeah.
And then you started working at Lowe's in November. So we had already decided at that point that we were moving in together when my contract ended.
It was nice because I was at work, or when I started working at Lowe's, it was one of those things where I would get off of work on Thursday because I would have a Friday. You work Saturday, you get the Friday off. And so I would leave work at 3, make sure the cat's good at home, and then I booked it to Louisiana.
6 hours away.
And then whenever it was on the way back, I would leave on Monday morning.
When I would go to work.
When she would leave to work, I would leave and I would go straight. Well, no, I would go straight into work.
Yeah, he would. So he would.
She had Sunday there pretty much.
Yeah, he would be there Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I would leave for work Monday morning. And he would go straight
into work, and people would know. I mean, I get up early. I'm an early person. I can't stay up late, but if I'm out, hey, we're out doing something, sure, but home, no. But get up early, that's fine. So I'd get up early, and I'm able to drive all the way over here and then right into work, no problem.
Nice.
Or little problem, but hey, it worked out in the end. I would say it was worth it. Well worth it to stay an extra day. Yep. It was well worth it.
So you met on the dating app. Mm-hmm. You were brand new on the dating app. How long had you been on the dating app?
So started
Not
that.
to make it awkward.
No, I think it was over a year, wasn't it?
It had to have been over a year.
Because we've talked about it, so.
So that was October or August-ish. So it had been maybe March, June. Yeah, June a year prior.
Yeah.
So it was going through, splitting up with the ex, and it was one of those things like,
right?
Why not?
Right, everybody else is doing
Exactly, because I don't go out.
There are a lot of success stories.
I don't go to bars. I don't drink. Right. There's an occasional one at home, the pickle beer, because I don't like the way alcohol tastes. Yeah. But I'm not going to go anywhere to meet anybody. I like to work and go home. I have we have 2 boys, and I wanted to spend time with them. Like things changed from family to now it's just me and the boys, and take care of them, do what I can. I knew I had to get out of where I was. I had to get an apartment, had to rebuild my life, and I mean it's been nice to change the mindset, and now I got somebody that is very supportive and helps me helps me get through things, so it's nice.
So who liked who first on the dating app?
Well, again, we have to default to Shannon on that one because
Well, not knowing the rules, I liked the picture. Picture of him and the boys. I'm not gonna lie, the kids were like, "Oh, they're so cute." And then he messaged me. I think. I don't think I saw it.
No.
Right away. With me working 3-4 days in a row, I mean, they say it's 12-hour shifts for a nurse, but it's never. By the time you leave, I mean, and get to and from home to work, it's like 15 hours a day that you're gone. And I was the charge nurse for the hospital that I was at, so that was even more time consuming. So it would be 3-4 days that I would never even know that he had messaged me.
I'm just there.
Waiting.
Well, and like I said earlier,
does it show you if it's been read or not?
Well, I didn't have it on my phone. Yeah.
So she had already read it?
No.
That's why
it would just sit there.
It was like, okay. I mean, at least it's not read. If you see one that's read, it's like, dang. But no, it was just unread. I mean, it's like, all right. And then all of a sudden, there would be a message.
I left you unread.
But all of a sudden there would be a message, and again, I wasn't working, so I was just home. Okay, and I'm able to get to it right away. Yeah. But then I'm like, all right, how fast should I message? Should I message fast? Because that's pretty bad. She took
taking
10
it
days. And I'm over here.
It was not 10 days.
It felt like 10 days.
3-4 days, whatever.
But, at the end, I don't remember. It was just, I just messaged. Because I think I just stopped caring. Been through so much.
Right.
Done so many stupid things. I mean,
And he thought I was fake.
thought she was fake. So
That he thought I was a guy.
Yeah.
Or somebody trying to steal his identity.
Exactly. You never know. I was waiting for what's your social? What's your
Yeah.
mother's maiden name?
He thought I was his new Nigerian prince that needed money. So
I have $8 million that I want to give to you.
I had to see where it went. Oh, no, yeah. So we had to see where it went, but I had my gun. I'm going to meet her. Yes, I've got mine. And what did you have?
I don't remember.
You want to? Who gave
Oh,
you?
a friend gave me her gun, and then when he came to the door for the first time, I had a switchblade in the back of my pants.
Can't be too careful.
So welcome to Texas. She fits in just nice.
So-
Right.
Yes, we carry. But no, I mean, I took it just because, all right.
a road trip.
Well, I never knew.
Louisiana.
Yeah, Shreveport. Yeah, rough area.
I would take mine.
We did FaceTime. We did FaceTime, but still, even driving over there, I was like, man, there's still a chance that I could be getting
something's
robbed.
off here. Yeah.
Something. I mean, but yeah, no, thank goodness I didn't get robbed.
Well, you'd talked to her on the phone before, right? You just didn't know if she was setting you up.
Yeah,
Right,
Who
right.
else could have been there,
Gotcha.
kind
I
of
gotcha.
thing, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, because
How long
he came to my apartment, so it wasn't even like a public place. Like we met at
And I got there at night.
because he had left work or
Yeah.
what? No, you weren't at work because you weren't working then.
No,
I think
I
you had. Did you have the boys or you had tennis?
I had a lesson.
Yeah, you had tennis, so you didn't get to me until like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun
But
time.
you stayed a few days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Get to relax, not
Got to
not
know
sit
each other
there.
better.
Well, and then, so was it that time? Which time did I give you?
Oh, and it was the next time.
It was the next time. So yeah, we went there from one time and then came home, and then I had a plan because we weren't, it's
We
so-
weren't.
so lame
we weren't.
to say it.
We weren't official yet.
Right.
We were
Yeah.
testing the waters.
So the next time I had went, I forgot what it was. I had the zip tie and I planned on it, so I was,
No.
and so I had my leg and I put it behind her, or I put it somewhere and I put it down on a knee, and I had the zip tie and I was like, just kind of goofy.
Yeah.
And then so she, but
Yeah.
she's
So he asked me to
Oh,
be.
you still have the zip
yeah.
tie?
Yes.
Oh.
I've never taken it off.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was just something silly, hey.
So yeah, he asked me to be his real girlfriend,
Yes. And
not
so she-
not his internet girlfriend.
Right, yeah, that's what it was. They're like, not my internet girlfriend, just again. And so, she's actually worn it. I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's still on there. So, I mean, we're going to turn it and do
There's
something with
a
it.
company that will make wedding bands, and they can inlay whatever you want. Like I've seen like people have done like they've traveled and they brought home sand from different beaches. I saw they did like guitar strings. Another one.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so we're going to have them put it in my
a
wedding
zip
band.
tie.
A zip tie.
Hey, but you know what? It's sentimental. So
I mean, heck, the one I asked her to marry me, it was a piece of my leg. My prosthetic doctor, she essentially,
that he accidentally left on the seat of my car and I found it.
that's why the date, when I asked, it's not the right date. It shouldn't have been, but essentially, so she cut off the pylon where my foot goes on that much off. So it's like really thin piece of metal, titanium, I guess. And so I had it in my pocket when we went to the tennis tournament, and I was going to ask her to marry me there, but I couldn't find it.
Uh-oh.
I didn't know where it was. I mean, oh well, I'll find it eventually. And then one day when I got back home, she came up and she came from outside in
I
the
was at
car,
work. Yeah.
and she brought in this ring, and she was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, I was looking for that. It's trash." And I pretended I opened the trash can and I had something else in my hand and I threw it away. Like, you can't hear you. You'll know I threw something away, but I pocketed that. And then I was like, well,
Sneaky.
looks like it's going to have to be a Christmas thing. I'm like, dang, Christmas. Oh, well, that's fine. So, I went ahead and wrapped it up and put it on the tree, because I asked her, I was like, do y'all put anything in the tree? Because my family, we would hide things in the tree.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you asked that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
So we had the ring, or I had the ring, and I put it in a little gold wrapping paper, a little string, and then just put it in the tree. That's why it was the last one on there, and heck,
And
I
it was
almost forgot.
way up.
Yeah,
so
it was way up.
I didn't even know it was there.
Yeah, she's pretty short, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
noticed that.
I'm 5'10".
I mean, 6'2". Right now, I'm what, 6'3"? I got lifts.
people.
I got lifts. Yes.
6'3".
He has an unfair advantage, the hydraulics in that thing.
Yes.
That's not fair.
You can just pump it up,
Shortly.
just a little bit. Yes.
Just a little extra cushion. So, you got back into tennis.
Yes.
How'd that happen?
Oh man! Again, that's just one of those. Honestly, it's one of the God things. I mean, I was at the prosthetic doctor, and they were telling me about this event. It's Morgan's Wonderland in San Antonio, and it was just to.
Well, we had soccer tournaments next door to it.
Oh yeah, they have all the soccer stuff there, nice ones.
Yeah.
But they were doing an event where you can try out running legs and you can do all of this cool stuff. So I'm like, okay, we had talked about it. She was at work, or she's going to go to work because, that's the day she goes, and I'll go. I'll go ahead and go. And then closer it got, I'm like, I don't want to go. And then the day of, it was like game time. You know what? I'm going to go. Mm-hmm. 30 minutes before, I'm going to go. So I put my leg on, and I went ahead and drove out there, got there, and turns out I knew some of the other prosthetic doctors there. So I talked with them, and one of the guys' name is Reggie. He did one of my sockets, and he was like, well, it's not that it wasn't for me. It's just I already had a running leg. So there's nothing really I could gain from it. But I was in a socket that didn't fit the sock because I had got re-amputated, or they cut 3 inches off of my nub
And took your rods out.
and took the rod out of that leg.
Like
So
that long?
oh yeah, I got it at home. Oh, I should have brought it. I keep all the pieces that they take off of my body.
Should.
They wouldn't let me keep my leg, but I got those pieces because I paid for them.
Did you get the boot back?
No. Trust me, I was very upset with that. But yeah, so shoot, what were we talking about?
rod
Morgan's
in your
Wonderland.
Tennis.
Oh no, so yeah. So the socket was too big of a socket. It was 3 inches too long. Everything is different, but I was out there kind of like trying it out, and I was doing a pogo stick trick that I do. I just have the running leg over here, and I'll jump on one leg. I'll lock the knee, and I'll just do a pogo. The good leg is up, and I'm just there.
Just kind of bounces on
Kind
it
of
when he
playing
talks.
one-legged
Yeah.
tennis.
Yeah, I'm in one place, just talking to the guy casually, bouncing, and eventually certain people start coming over, and they're like, and she started introducing herself and asking me certain questions like, "What do you do? How long have you been an amputee?" And just talking with her, and they started telling me about sports and why don't you do it? And I'm like, well, I reached out to tennis before, actually the year after, so 2018, so maybe 6 months later from my accident, I had reached out to somebody in USTA, but there was really no adaptive tennis. I kind of refused to do wheelchair tennis because I wanted to stand. Not taken away from wheelchair tennis,
Right.
that stuff's hard.
Yeah.
Way too hard. But I could stand up, and unfortunately, there wasn't anything. So this one, they're telling me, no, there's tournaments for people like you. And there was another guy there, talking to him, and he plays tennis. He's a below knee amputee, and he was kind of telling me like, no, just judging by what you're doing here, just a little pogo stick trick, like you'll do pretty good. So they were telling me there's a tournament. It was the big tournament for us for 23, and that was held in Dallas in December. I forget the date exactly, but the 10th or something. But hey, you want to go ahead and do it? I can email the tournament director, and we can try to get you in. And no, I didn't really think I could do it. I mean, I hadn't played in over a year for sure because I got hurt.
And it hadn't been that long since you had been reamputated.
Right. The reamputation happened in March. So December, I mean, I hadn't had a leg yet. I don't even have my leg. It's still the old leg, but, I can't do it. So I went home and...
Back up to this reamputation process? Yeah. What's that?
So I had a fall at home. I played tennis, taught tennis, and then I went home and I was walking from my car to my apartment, and I fell with my right foot. I fell in a hole, and it's one of those sprinkler holes, and I ended up hitting my left knee. It bent, and it was the running leg, so it bent, and when I smashed down, it ended up causing a big two neuromas on the tip of my nub, so I couldn't walk. I mean, it was very difficult. So it was just.
Did they cut more off?
Yeah,
that's when they took that 3 inches off.
Wow.
So I mean, it was really neat because I mean, like my knuckle. If you do look at this, there's no skin, there's no padding. That's what my nub ended up being. It was just super bone and skin. Bone. So it hurt. Now that they've reamputated and they took 3 inches of bone off, but essentially it's got like 1.5 inches of padding. So now it's a little bit better. We're trying to stay off of the bottom. Got a new prosthetic doctor to do better than the one before, and we're just kind of going from there. But yeah, so it was a matter of cutting more off, and they had to take the rod out. It was I guess. What did they do with the nerve? They put it in my hamstring?
They embedded the nerve into the back of your hamstring, and then all of those muscles, they overlapped them.
Overlapped the muscles.
Over the end, because he had no cushion at the end.
Because they need to do something with it?
Well,
they don't know where to put it?
The idea behind...
he had no cushion, and that's why they intentionally put it there.
A cushion.
So the muscle doing that will give cushion, and then putting that nerve, the one that I had the neuroma with, putting it back and in the hamstring, essentially it's like giving it a job.
Yeah.
So it will, the theory was it'll give you less ghost pains, less phantom pains if we give it a job, and then putting it in that muscle bed gives it something to do. So it's,
because he had a lot of sciatic nerve pain.
I'm playing tennis now. I mean, it's pretty awesome. I mean, cool. It's much better.
And you wouldn't have been able to do that before the reamputation?
No, I mean, I was teaching it. Yeah. I say it's so much better, but I mean, I was teaching before, and I was walking so much at work prior. I mean, I walked a lot, and now it's just a matter of my leg's shorter, so the advantage that I have now is my knees line up. So they were able to cut 3 inches off. It only gave me 1.5 inches, 2 inches of play, but it brought the knee level up here. So before, when I would do squats, I would do like a twist.
Or
so
even
I would
just
be
walking,
awkward.
his hips would.
Yeah. But now with my knees pretty much in line, whenever I'm doing tennis or doing that 45-degree squat, it's here even, and I can get into a better position and do things. So
there was definitely a noticeable improvement.
Oh yeah. No, it's much better. I mean, as far as that goes.
Yeah, I don't think you have nearly the amount of ghost pains that you used to.
Well, so before that reamputation, before the end, when I fell, ghost pains weren't too bad. I mean, they were there, not there. It's just they're silly. I mean, when I get the ghost pains, I kind of laugh because I know it's not real. So ow, and then just hear me laugh.
But then when you had the neuromas, it was terrible.
That's when it got bad. I mean, the neuromas, there's nothing I could do. I couldn't put my leg on. I mean, the heartbreaking thing, it was Jace's birthday, and I had this whole plan. I was going to take him kayaking. It was just going to be me and him. I asked him what he wanted to do for his birthday, and that was it. I said, well, we're taking Parker, but we're going to go kayaking. I fell, and I couldn't walk. And so, I mean, it's just me, how difficult that is to walk. I would go to Rio Vista, carry a kayak. being an amputee. It's a 2-person kayak. Watching the boys, I have my backpack.
Who
I
are
have
3
my
and
gear.
7.
It was interesting, and then so at that point, I was just defeated, and I told him I'm sorry, but I couldn't.
I tried.
Yeah.
He understands, I'm sure.
He did, but
yeah.
it was a hard thing. But it is what it is. Now I don't have to deal with that pain anymore. It's just after surgery, it's so much better.
Okay, so you're at SMU in Dallas?
Yeah. So, so again, going back to that, they kind of just told me about it, and I debated it, but it was a no. Hadn't played over a year and a half, picked up a racket or anything, and I was barely walking. So I was reaching out to more people, and the lady that I had reached out to in 2018, March of 2018, she sent me an email. She said, "Hey, I don't think you remember me, but," and she led into it. And no, I remember you. And because I'm a hoarder, I kept that email. I went back to that email to see what exactly I said. I was like, did I say anything a certain way? That way I can know and play off of it. But pretty much it was just me wanting to play, tennis. And, she said, "Do you want to play?" And there's no way I would have been able to do it before.
Yeah.
I didn't have the support. I wouldn't have been able to look at somebody and go, "Hey, can I go do this?" It would have been
right.
No, you're dumb. I mean, just be fair. I mean, if I wanted to do something,
nice.
if I wanted to do something for myself like that, definite no.
Right.
But so I had that reservation about asking, but I ended up asking her, like, "What do you think?" She emailed me. Now that this is the second time, what do you think? What was it? You'd be stupid not to. That's okay. So once she said that, I'm like,
What do we need to get?
What do we need to do?
Right.
I mean, I'm going to Dick's Sporting Goods to go buy tennis shoes the day before the tournament.
They weren't even broken in.
Nope. I had
String and rackets.
I
the day
ordered
before.
my vocal rackets. I ordered one and some string and some grips. And I said, "Hey, I need to get them in."
And they weren't supposed to make it in time.
They weren't supposed to make it in time.
they did.
And so talking about, God lining things up. I don't have my leg yet. It was a test socket. You can't play with it. So I planned on playing with my old leg and winging it. But the leg, she ended up getting the new C leg came in. So my new knee, the new socket she was able to get 2 weeks before, before, something like that. People at work were like, "Are you going to go practice?" What is it going to do? And it's not that I'm that good or anything. No. It's just I hadn't played for so long. If I had gone to go practice, all I could do was hurt myself, and my wrist was even
He was in a
nagging.
wrist brace.
Yeah.
I was taping him up with K-tape. And
So there's no reason. There's whatever.
Just warm up when you get there.
Right. So the day before the tournament, I'm at work. I mean, I'm still working. Day before I have to go, it's Thursday. I get the alerts that I'm on my way home. My vocal stuff got delivered. Okay.
I sent you a picture.
Yes.
The package on the front porch
So
with the box sitting there.
Super excited. And I'm like, I got to go home and now string my
String the
racket.
rackets.
So then I can go. And I had just told a couple of kids, like, "Hey, I can't string rackets for you anymore. It was just hurting too much and just doing that little motion. And now I'm stringing a racket before I'm going to go play a tournament." So whatever, I whip out my old bag from 1999, my old vocal bag. I was just cleaning it up, and because I'm a hoarder and I keep all of my stuff. And I went and drove to the tournament, and it was, again, it all
You
lined
left
up.
Thursday evening, so you could get there and rest the night before.
Yep. And then so the next day, the coolest part, I get there and I like to go in early. I like to be places early, and I got there the next day. So it was Friday. We're playing, and I get to this facility and there's nobody there. There's no vehicles. There's no nothing. And I'm like, well, am I at the right place? So I leave, go somewhere else. Oh, this isn't it. It keeps taking me over here. So I think I did it like 3 times.
Because you were on the phone with me.
Kind of panicking because now I got nervous. Uh-oh, when I can't find something, I'm nervous that now I can't make it. Maybe all these people are here and they're already playing. No.
He was just super early.
I was so early that eventually there was another vehicle that pulled up and he was just watching me kind of do things like get out, look around, see where I'm going. And I just finally decided to wait. And when he was walking out, he was like, you're here. So
everybody else is at the hotel getting the continental breakfast, and you're just there ready to play.
Yep.
So it was really neat. I mean, him and I waited for the Cindy Benson is the one that I'm sorry if I butchered the last name. She's the one that had emailed me, waited for her, saw her. So I finally got to meet her. Super awesome. And then they're just taking me in. I mean, I'm the only one there so far. And I got a tour. I mean, got to just go look around at things. It was just super awesome. Again, still hadn't picked up a racket yet. I mean, other than stringing it. But so I'm getting ready, trying to figure things out. I meet the guy that I'm going to play, Danny Scriviano. And, we're just chatting it up with him. All these people are super nice, by the way. I mean,
Sure.
different kind of competitions.
Yeah.
You have different, attitudes, but this is much different. Like it's more supportive. Like we were, it's better.
Everybody there wanted everyone to succeed and very, very welcoming
Very well.
to everybody.
Good
Yeah.
sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I'm talking with him, and then finally we're like, hey, well, let's go down there. Let's go warm up because we're about to get to playing. And we go down, and that's the first time I'm picking up a racket. And I had both legs. I had my regular leg and I had my running leg. I didn't know which one I was going to use. It was game time decision. Like, I don't know. And I had my wrist brace, everything, and ended up playing that match. A lot of the games were deuce or close-ish, 40-30 or something of the sort, where he ended up winning. I mean, every game. I did not win a game. He handily beat me, and he was very...
leg?
No, he had
He had
to. So it's classes. We have different classes. One PST 1, 2, 3, 4. One, I believe it's. I'm sorry if I don't know the classifications, but mine is it's either 2, so like an upper body and something wrong with like below knee or something like that. So his is arm and leg. Mine is above knee. So above knee, it's hard to move around. So they wouldn't put you with, let's say, a below knee who can essentially run like normal. For me, it's a little bit different. So anyway, he humbly beat me. I mean, I feel like he was keeping me not wanting to destroy me and destroy my spirit. I mean, because I'm sitting here talking to him about like how this is my first match back. I barely picking up a racket, but I mean, what was my face like the whole time?
Smiling.
I'm getting
sure,
whooped,
yeah.
and I'm smiling. I'm just like, this is amazing. I'm
Back out on the court again.
exactly. I can't explain the feeling. It's there's not that many people there, but it's still walking through a tunnel. It's still going out there on the court. It's still playing tennis, and
And the boys got to see
the
it this
boys
time.
getting to see it. That was even more special that we had them that weekend, and it's 50-50, so it's awesome. So they get to go, and all right. And so anyway, I played that match.
Our dog was even there.
Our dog was there. So I played that match, and again, I lost. I even had I swapped legs because my socket was hurting too much. I mean,
And you fell out of it at one point.
well, that's why. So I swapped legs to my running leg, and the running leg had the bigger socket. Well, whenever I was going for a point, I went this way, and my leg decided to just stay there. I did not fall.
He did not.
I
He hopped.
managed to go really close to the ground, didn't put my hand down, and recovered as my leg stayed on the ground. And I was hopping to the ball because I'm not giving up.
Right.
I'm not giving up. I mean, how many hops did I take? Because I'm
lot.
going to get that ball.
5, 6.
He won that point, but I wasn't giving up.
Right.
And I then got my leg and hopped all the way to the bench, put my other leg on, and then we were good to go.
Do we have video footage of that somewhere?
Unfortunately not. I mean, eventually there's bound to get it eventually. I mean, I'm going to play enough to where my leg is going to fall off. So if you watch, I mean, it's going to do it.
It's gonna happen.
But so then, hey, it's one match a day for singles. I did play doubles. We didn't do so well with doubles. It is what it is. And then the next day I played my next singles match. And this one was cool because it was now like for like. And so, by the way, Bart, the first day and the second day, there was this group, the Team Japan. So those guys, they were out there every morning. Of course, after I got there, because I was just there early because I had my own car. They have shuttles that they had to take. So those guys, they'd go out to the court as soon as they got there. They would start practicing as soon as they got there. And they would practice all up until match time. And then just go. I mean, they would start playing, and we would be up there just going, man, they're machines. Like that's awesome. So day 2, same thing. And so I ended up playing a guy named Hugo, like for like. He's his right leg. I'm a left leg above knee. His right leg above knee. Awesome match. I mean, everything started clicking a little bit better for me. I was playing a little bit better than the day prior. So, I was getting back into it. My serves were back into it that day. Even my wrist brace, it was a scary moment because didn't have my wrist brace. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And it was just, again, one of those game time decisions where she would.
The boys and I, because we didn't get to stay.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had to. So I drove back and forth every day with the kids. We have animals at home that are special needs, and we can't leave them. They take medicine a few times. They take medicine a few times a day. So I didn't get to see the second day when they played. But he called me and told me that he couldn't find his wrist brace. So I was on DoorDash trying to order one from Walgreens down the street to have somebody hurry up and deliver him one, and then he found it.
But it was, so, I mean, again, game time decision. I got down there. I found it. Cindy or somebody else had found it. It was in the stands. When I was watching some of the people play, I had taken it off. And I said, no, I think it was over there. And sure enough, they found it. And then I went down to the court and I decided,
I was texting all the women like, hey, he's getting ready to play. Somebody go find his, he's at a table somewhere.
They were all helping.
So they were all looking for it.
Because I don't like asking for help. But she did. But we found it anyway. I played. And again, it was a much better, not much better. I played better than the day prior. Hugo, super awesome. And I won it out. I think it was 6-3, 6-4. I mean, again, close match. I just won the crucial points. And then so played my doubles match. Again, not so great. Then we go on to day 3. Day 3, I had a plan. I mean, I knew what I was going to do. I went in, and it was go find Shun. Shun was one of the above-knee amputees for Japan. And I'm going to stay around the court that I know they're going to. So I got there first. They got out there, and I just kind of waited there like I'm stretching. I'm stretching. And finally, Shun looked at me and, hey, John, you want to play? You want to warm up? And, yeah. So, bam, I'm out there because that's my mindset.
Right.
I am, when we were up there in the stands and we're looking at them and people are saying, that's, they're machines. That's what I am. I mean, when I do something, I go for it. I'm always all in. That's what I'm going to do. So day 3, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be down there with them. And now, I mean, the awesome part now you
guys are friends.
Now we're all friends. I got to learn what foot I could have. And one of them, Koya is my now my doubles partner for a tournament that I'm going to be playing in June. So, I mean, he's in Japan and I'm here, but we're planning on playing together for that tournament, and we'll see from there. But super neat. I mean, the whole experience. I think good thing she wasn't there. I cried on the court. I mean, when I won the match, I was taking pictures of it because
Yep.
I didn't think
It'll
I
make
could
me
do it
cry.
anymore. I thought playing tennis was done. There's nothing else.
Right.
But now I'm out there playing. It didn't matter if I was losing. I was smiling and I was happy because I got to do what I love doing. And,
Yep.
it's an opportunity.
And you couldn't have done it with a better group of people.
Right. I mean, because it was just nothing but support. I remember when I was first playing the first guy, Danny, again, just getting my butt whooped. Koya was on the court next to me. He was going on, and he was just there looking at me, and he was cheering me on for that last point. It was like deuce every time he would look at me, or I was about to win that game, and he would just be right there, like, "Come on, you have it," and I didn't. I would mess up the point, or Danny would just hit an awesome shot, and I couldn't get to it, or it was good, and then Koya would be like, "Oh." You could tell
friends.
we did. It was a language barrier. I mean, we don't speak the same language, but I knew he was cheering for me, and I appreciated that so much. It's not what I'm used to. I'm used to it's the negativity or something like that. We're so full of negativity.
Right.
That world is positivity.
Yeah. At
And
any given time while he was playing, somebody, because they all knew each other because they've played together for a long time. We were the new people.
yeah,
At any moment while he was down there playing, somebody different who other players or family members of other players, coaches of other players came and sat with me and the boys to help cheer him on in the stands. At one point there was, we were all sharing phone numbers. There was a group of the female players. They're the ones who brought up the other foot, like that because the guys from Japan have a different style foot than he does. And they were all like very curious and like asking me like, why does he have this? And why did he pick this? And it was a lot of, well, I don't think he's ever known that these other things were options for him. He didn't know these things existed. And so they're giving me phone numbers of their doctors and people who have built their sockets and screenshotting things and sending it to me to be able to share it with him so he knows what his options are.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was nothing but support the entire time.
It's like gaining a whole new family.
It was.
Well, I mean, it was even more than that because I had a prosthetic company. I'll need to get the name. You can tag them or put it in there. But it's so they reached out, and it's a different style of socket. So I have this hard socket that it's not fun. I mean, it
Not
is
forgiving
hard.
at
So I'm very active. I know everything is different, just like with the foot. The current prosthetic doctor, when we discussed things, she didn't know I wanted, let's say, that more sport feel than this. But I'm gonna end up doing tennis. So we need that. So she's gonna switch that. We're good. But I mean, as far as the socket, the other company is gonna do. It's a soft socket or different style, and I've never had it. But apparently it's for more active people, and it'll keep things in place where I have a lot of issues. It will make things better. So hopefully,
Yeah, it's very stretchy.
Yes, yeah. I mean, so that was the cool part. It's like seeing all the parts that everybody else had. I took a picture with the two Japanese above knee, and I sent it to my prosthetic doctor. Is that the foot that I couldn't have? Can I have that foot?
Yeah. How can I get that?
Again, we've worked it out, and they're again super awesome. They're going to do it, but it took a little bit. I mean, it's knowing what you can say and can ask for. I've learned a lot over the last couple of years. That's what kicked it in the butt for me to say no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just take that
Right.
because I don't deserve that. I've dealt with that. I've put up with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do different. I'm going to choose to not let people walk over me. I mean, whether that be anywhere, whether it's work, home life. Well,
Not that you have to worry about her.
yeah, no, we're good. Or just going anywhere. I don't do that. Sometimes it's it's hard to deal with, but it's more or less like, nope, not going to deal with that, or just get away from it.
I like it. So, what do you got going forward? Is there something you want to tell everybody?
Well, yes. So, I'm going to be, hopefully, we're still talking with the tournaments in Turin. I was at the time, one of 90 players from 20 countries that was invited to the tournament out there.
Wow.
The tournament, I guess, is tournament director Gregory. He sent an email saying, you're one of 90, click here. We've got to do the registration and everything, just, waiting to get accepted. But that's the tournament in Turin, Italy is on the international list for the tournament I'm going to be playing. So fundraising for that, because since we're going to be getting married, what better way to turn this international tennis tournament into a honeymoon? And then,
right.
To me, it's a once in a lifetime thing, because I'm 39.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Mexico and just right across the border. So for me, like, that's once in a lifetime type thing to go to Italy. So of course, take the boys. And so, it'd be us for our honeymoon and take the boys, and they get to see their dad play tennis. Again, if I get accepted, I don't know how it works. I don't know. But if I get to go to that tournament, if everything works out, I want Shannon to go. I want the boys to go, and we'll be there and we'll be able to play this tournament. But so doing fundraising, part of it, the announcement really is through the Facebook page. I'll have a link on there, so it'll be for tennis lessons. So I will be doing tennis lessons eventually as normal work. But right now, if you click the link on the page, anything done through there from now until that tennis tournament will be fundraising for that tournament. So like anything raised, it's not like it's going to my pocket so I can go pay for gas or something. No, it's just going straight to the Italy fund, straight over there. So it's got to pay for my my ticket, mostly for the tennis stuff, and pay for whatever else that I need, clothing and more shoes that I'm probably going to go buy. But that's what it's going to be, is doing tennis lessons through there, and hopefully starting that career again of teaching.
Yeah, fun.
But I mean, the awesome part is just playing professional tennis.
Right.
I mean,
For sure.
I keep asking people, and I mean, if I know it's awkward for me to have the page Paralympic hopeful or something like that. I felt like I didn't deserve that title.
Somebody else had to kind of steer him.
Yeah,
another player's mom who's really done this
Danny's
a lot.
Mom, I was talking with her, messaging on Facebook, like I don't really think so. She's like, no, you are.
Yeah.
And in other people, you are. And it's like, okay. I mean, I believe it, but I can't put myself on the same stage as, let's say, Danny or those other guys, because they've done so well, and I'm just me. I'm from Texas. I'm from Creedmoor, and now New Braunfels. But they've convinced me to, it's okay. So I mean, that to me is just, it's awesome to be in this position and to be able to, like right now I'm playing with my rackets that I played with for 25 years and trying to work out deals with them, trying to find sponsors. I mean, my leg, I forgot, we've got my leg that I've got sponsorship opportunities for there. Eventually it's advertising, but so there's so much, but it's just so much in so little time. I have to really organize it, but everything will be on the page. Everything will be on Facebook or Instagram. And it's just, we've got a
lot of work to do.
Got a lot of work to do. It's not cheap to go to Italy. Those flights are quite expensive, but again, once in a lifetime thing to see, my kids and Shannon, to see me play tennis professionally.
Right.
I don't know. I hope this is not going to be the last time. I hope I get invited everywhere. And, I hope I can have sponsors to where I can make this a normal type thing. But, we'll see, really.
How does training look for that? Do you have to train with somebody else who's a para-athlete? Does it help?
It would. So I have the other guy in San Antonio, Mike. He's a baloney. He'll be one that I can practice with normally, and then it'll kind of be able-bodied from there. Just playing able-bodied people.
Just going through reps.
Yeah, I mean, within reason. I mean, I have to be able to try. I'm not going to play somebody super awesome that's just going to make me run around and kill me. But
Right.
it's
You can play me. I won't do that to you.
it's within reason. I mean, I don't want to just hinder myself and say no, I can't do that. I
Right.
don't want to do that. I should try to play better people and try to get better with mobility. But first things first, I have to wait until I get the new socket. Have to wait till I get the new foot is what it is. I'll wait till I get the new socket because this one is just kind of somewhat
held together
fiberglass
by tape
on.
right now.
Yeah, because it's temporary. It's a test. But once I get the good one, then hey, go out there and practice. Trying to talk to facilities, try to find a professional, like a teaching pro. It's hard being a coach to get a coach, but I know I need it. It's more just discipline. Just somebody really in your ear to tell you, hey, dummy, don't do that.
Yeah. Somebody who can recognize it.
Right.
On the other side of the court.
I mean, I still hear my old coach, Kevin O'Shea. He's in my ear all the time. I make a mistake. If he's yelling at me, I mean, it's just normal. But having somebody do it now, that's what I'm searching for. It's just, again, I'm fundraising for tennis.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to do.
Interesting. I like it. You deserve it all. So I'm glad to see you happy.
It's come a long way. I mean, you got to see me. It was rough, but people around me. I mean, the people around me kept me from, going too crazy in my brain. It was a lot of people, just good people that text me. That's all it was. Just little texts here and there that kept me grounded. And yeah.
Well, cool. We wrap it up with some more hot seat questions.
Sweet.
Since we have your better half over here.
Ooh.
Let's see, what do we want to start with?
Take a drink of water.
I'll start with this one because it's kind of and I almost didn't ask this question because, obviously the answer could be your leg. But try not to pick your leg.
Okay.
What would you pick if you were able to recover one item that you've lost from your past?
I wouldn't have picked the leg anyway.
Yeah?
Like, I hope y'all understand that. I'm
I just want to make sure you did.
Yeah, I'm okay. We're good. Okay, so read that again. What was it?
If you could pick one item to recover from your past that you lost, what would it be?
Oh, man.
This is going to be a hard one for you.
Because I keep on to so much.
Right.
Like, if it's important, like I have my tennis rackets,
Well, because he's always said that he wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
Because this
Right.
led to this, led to this.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, an item. Let's say item. I wish I had all of my tennis stuff. I mean, so really my regional, like the medals that I got for that. The most important one, I remember it was in an old house, probably long gone. But I mean, that would be something important to me now, looking back. Because then I could show it to the boys.
Mm-hmm.
What is the number one perk of being your significant other? You have to answer.
Oh, wait. What's the perk that she has that I'm? Oh, that's easy. Handicap parking all day.
High five.
I knew he was going to say that.
Of course. Front of the line, baby.
That's perfect.
Nice.
That's too good.
Well, I'm going to say ICU nurse, so if you decide to lose another leg, I got you.
Exactly. I'm covered. It works both ways. Like we're covered.
That's funny. We were talking about the dating app earlier. Besides looks, what is the number one thing you find attractive in someone? Like if you didn't see her picture, but you saw something about her on the dating app, what would you?
Wait, so not visual, but something else. Honestly, it would be drive is career driven because that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Somebody else that's like me is to be driven.
I like it. Mm-hmm. If you had a warning label to wear everywhere you go, what would it say?
Man. Oh, what would the people at work say?
You want me to have her answer this one for you?
It's something to do with my mouth because,
Caution makes inappropriate jokes.
well, inappropriate jokes or,
I find them funny. Other people,
well, it's fun to watch people squirm.
yes,
It's
sometimes
fun.
other people gets,
How about he
little-
might make you
a
laugh,
little-
he might make you angry?
well, not angry, but he, because he's, he's very open about his leg, and if other people are looking at it, or
yeah. No, when I catch you looking at it, it's
yeah,
fun.
he'll have things to say. No, I mean in a
Especially
joking way.
When you're trying to sneak look at my leg, don't. Or kids, oh my goodness. If anything gets taken from this podcast, if your kids are looking at an amputee's leg, let them look.
yeah.
Sure.
If I didn't want it to be seen, I will wear pants. I wear shorts because I think it's awesome. If your kid wants to say whatever they want to say, they're curious, ask away.
Sure.
For the longest, and they still might.
Kids don't have a filter.
No,
Not at all.
It's
Well,
so awesome.
at the boys' school, I don't know if you've ever told the majority of them the truth, but for the longest time, they all thought that he lost his leg due to a shark ate it.
Shark it. I used to tell people that I cut my tip of my finger off when I was running with scissors when I was a kid. They're like, really? Because we were always told not to run with scissors. And I was like, yeah, that's why I didn't run with scissors. I was born that way. Something got wrapped around it in the womb, so it stunted the growth, and I have a toe finger looking thing. But people are like, what happened to your finger? I was like, that's where they sewed it back on. And they believe me. I've been telling people that my whole life.
That's what happens when you
lied to
don't eat your
everybody.
vegetables. Your legs and fingers don't grow.
The boys can't get away with anything because their leg hurts. I remember Jason's leg. Oh my! Ow! Well, at least you have it.
At least you have one.
Oh, your left knee hurts. I wish I had my left knee.
I'll ask this one to Shannon first. What is something that you thought you'd never do, then you tried it, and now you love it?
Why are you laughing over there? Like you have an answer?
Again, to go back to the last question about the what's going to come out of my mouth. You never know.
Okay, no, go ahead.
No. That's all you. No, I will filter my.
Oh, honestly, running. I never thought I would like running, and I love that. I don't know. That's all I got.
Running?
Yeah.
What was it again?
Something that you've...
Something that you didn't think you would ever do, but then you tried it and now you love it.
Oh, for sure. Kayaking.
Kayaking.
I would have never done kayaking. Never. And then when I did it, that's cool. Just by yourself or, with the boys, whatever. But it was just peaceful.
Right.
So peaceful. I love it.
It's something you appreciate more.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Until he has to tie his kayak to mine and pull me upstream when I can't make it.
Hey, but it's a good workout.
I gave it a valiant effort, though. I did. I fought that thing, and he finally had to drag
cute.
me.
It's cute. I gave up and had to tow her in.
He did.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you guys for coming out.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.